Is anything off limits?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing. Girl, what you got?
Do you have any regrets? Before you signed, did they know you were pregnant?
No.
Ooh.
Nope. So I'm like, no, I'm not nervous. I went in my boss's office, I sat down, and I was like, so I'm pregnant.
I cannot believe it. We are on season 2 of the Dr. Wendy Show. And I know we have taken a little hiatus, but that is because we are back bigger and better. And when I say bigger and better, we're not just talking about an all new set. We're also talking about new bundles. Okay, hello, got some new bundles in my hair. And we're also talking about our guests. We want to make sure to bring you the best. Okay? And when we say the best, we mean not only the best as far as personality and vibe, but also the best as far as individuals who are at the top of their career. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm bringing to you somebody who is not only funny, but messy. And you know, as a housewife, that is exactly the quintessential element for greatness. Without any more commotion, I welcome Jess Hilarious!
What's up, y'all?
Oh my God!
Hey.
And she brought a +1.
I know, right? Baby messy. Baby messy.
Oh, how are you?
I'm good.
You look beautiful.
As do you.
Are
Thank
glowing.
you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so this is long overdue. Mm-hmm. And the reason I say that is because you are from Baltimore.
Yep.
I consider Baltimore home, even though I came there when I was in high school.
Yeah.
But you are really a champion for the city.
Absolutely.
And not only do you wave the Baltimore flag very high whenever you're there or not there, but the city absolutely adores you.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure before we even jump into any questions, some are funny, some are very messy.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I give you your flowers and tell you thank you for bringing light to a city that's often highlighted for its darkness.
Yeah.
And the things you do and the way in which you represent us is something that is commendable. And whether you know it or not, you allow little brown girls that look like you to say, I can leave the city too.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Thank you, Wendy.
Oh, okay. Let's get messy enough. Okay. I can't wait. I just want to jump right in. Okay. But before we do that, one thing I really wanted to talk to you about was that of motherhood. And we're going to backtrack, and I want to know how you even got here. As far as your career, as far as the Breakfast Club, as far as utilizing your platform to be able to give out a message, right? Whether that's funny, whether that's serious, whatever it is. There was a time when it was just you and your camera phone.
Absolutely.
And I think that in itself should be written about, because so many people, especially during this time in our world where it is an election year, so many people are saying, how can I use my voice? How can I utilize my platform? And I think you are a testament to the fact that if you have a phone, you can get your message out.
Absolutely.
So, let's talk a little bit about how Jess with the Mess started, how you even got here. Like, what was that origin story for you?
Yeah. So I started Jess with the Mess, actually watching reality TV. I used to watch Love and Hip Hop when it first came out, when it was good.
Stevie.
Yeah, with Stevie.
Oh, why is you here?
And the whole why is you here. I love me some Jocelyn, but I was watching it then, and that's where Jess with the Mess started. And back when Instagram was 15-second videos, and then I kept getting fired from jobs and stuff, and I was like, you know what? I think I didn't even have the comedian bone yet. I just was like, I seen that going viral was something that was like possible. And I was like, I got this deep, raspy voice. People love my accent because I'm from Baltimore, born and raised. I love telling it like it is. And that's all recipe for viral. especially back then. So I started doing my videos. And then what I used to do was delete them because people used to steal my ideas all the time. So I would post it and then it would go everywhere and then I would delete it. And then that was kind of dumb because I'm like, now it's not even on my page, but as long as it's my face, you see it. So that was before watermark and everything came. And then I got bigger, like my platform grew in like a course of months. And then out of nowhere, I did this photo shoot with my son and I was naked. He was not. Yup. And Corey Holcomb, this comedian, he came for me and I came back crazy, like real hard. And he was on Wildin' Out. And I remember trying out for Wildin' Out just so I could see him. Right. Because he had said some choice words about my son. I was like, look, I can take it, but don't play with my baby. And so I didn't even want to do Wildin' Out. I just went up there to audition so I could see him in person. And by then he was already gone. Like I guess he had severed ties with the show, or whether Nick severed ties with him, but he was gone. And that's how I got on the show. And then it just grew from there and just rebranded myself over the years and stuff as I've matured and, kind of tried to fall off of, getting away from being messy and just, there's no other word for messy, but just messy, just a more mature messy, but yeah, but that's how I became Jess with the mess.
When did you know, what was the moment for you that was like, I made it?
When I opened up for Martin in front of 13,000 people, after doing stand up for like 3 weeks. He originally called me to be in a play that he was doing, and then he happened to be on tour. This was the What Now tour in 2014 or 2016, and I think it was 2016. And he, he's from Maryland too. He's a Marylander, so he was coming to town, and he was like, "Hey, do you do stand up?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" Like I've been doing this blind, been doing it for 2 weeks. I was like, I've been doing it for like 2 years, And he was like, would you like to open up for me? Do you have 10 minutes? I was like, I can do an hour if you want me to. Girl, hyping it up. And he told me in Baltimore, he's going to do that. Back then it was called the Royal Farms Arena.
Yes.
Or Wells Fargo Arena. Girl, we didn't have so many names. I'm like, why are we known for chicken and beer?
Right.
Royal Farms Arena.
Right.
And I was nervous, but I did it. And when I went out there and he called me out there and all them people, and I'm like, this can't go wrong. I'm a Baltimore native. I know what they want to hear. I know what we eat. I know how we talk. I know my city. I told it 10 minutes up, and that's when I was like, I can do this. Because I still wasn't sold on being a stand-up comedian. I was like, I can do this. And that's when I was like, all right, this is my journey. Before
you believed in yourself, or before you knew you had made it, were the people around you telling you had made it? Like, what came first? Your people saying you've made it, or you saying you've made it?
I knew that, but I would keep that kind of stuff to myself because I've always been like, you don't let nobody know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Because then that's how different energies just get on you and that can drain you and stuff. But I've always had this loyal cousin who always pushed me. Her name is London. Like we grew up together and she always had a business mind. We're only a year apart and she became my manager eventually, but she used to be my assistant and she was working at Comcast. She was like, yo, you need somebody to help you book and all of this stuff. And she will always tell me, Jess, you won't be this, you won't be that, you won't be this. And I knew it, but again, it always helps when you hear it from somebody that knows you. And me and this girl, we've been through some things together, real ghetto. I'm talking about all types of drugs and everything. So, yeah, running the Baltimore streets and everything. So that's how it was.
Happy Eddie. Okay, sorry.
And so we grew, and she's still with me to this day. She's my manager, and she's always seen and believed in what Jess Hilarious is going and who I am.
It's interesting you say that because I just recently, like maybe 2-3 years ago, got put onto the whole notion of manifestation. Mm-hmm. I never knew I was manifesting when I was doing it until somebody finally gave a label and said, oh, you manifested that. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, manifestation is real. Because my husband would ask me, did you ever think that what you've accomplished now you were going to accomplish? And I said, yeah. And I just thought, That's just because what it was. And my mom was like, yeah, when you were younger, you always used to say, I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be famous. And I never knew that, there's power in the tongue. And I think that, the same way there's power in the tongue for positivity is also for negativity. So it's interesting that you said that you kept it to yourself because you said different spirits, good or bad, could get on you, right?
Definitely.
Okay, so you're Jess with the Mess. Recently, we saw you, which was amazing, get on the Breakfast Club, and we were all rooting for you. However, there was a fork in the road. Now, my question for you is, do you think that your announcement of it had anything to do with it being formalized or finalized on their end?
I believe that wholeheartedly that it did. They were taking so long with the deal, you know what I mean? And then they weren't trying to grant me a lot of things. They weren't. I just felt like they weren't trying to give me what I was worth. And then like I was looking at it like, okay, I felt like they were looking at it like, well, we're offering everything to you. Like, you ain't really bringing us nothing. You just, and I'm like, I don't like to feel like that. You know what I mean? So I will walk away from this because, I'm not going to be somewhere where I know I add value to, and even though this is a Hall of Fame show and I want to do this, like, this is something that I wanted. It's the biggest morning show ever, you know what I mean? And I grew up listening to it, I'm still not gonna let them devalue me or make me even feel that way about myself, like trick me out of, all right, well, I'll just do it. No, I know a lot of people who was just gonna do it, just for what it was listed online for, $300,000 a year. Excuse me? What? I tour. I make that and look, I ain't even, you know what I'm saying? But don't insult me like that. Don't play with me and who I am, my brand, everything I've built. What? Like, I belong here. It's my spot. So let me go ahead and light a little fire up under their ass and go ahead and announce.
Got it.
And be scared. Keep my, keep my fingers crossed and just manifest. That's my spot. That's where I belong. Like, even when I first saw that Angela Yee had left the show and got her own show, shout out to her, I text Charlamagne that day and I said, yo, I want to do that. I'm with y'all. Is it just gonna be y'all too, or is that a third spot that opened up? And he was like, well, we're gonna be testing, for a year. So I get you. Come on, let's come up and let's guest host and see what you can do. What? That's all I had to hear. I took for the whole year. I would constantly go up there. I would go up there even when they didn't ask me. When I knew that it was another host that was coming. All right, let's all right, what's up? We going to double team this thing. What's up? And unless the person was like, no, I know, right? Like, her, if you don't step out my spot. I know, but unless they was doing that, that's what I wanted to do. I was like, no, I want to, I don't care.
One of them.
On toes, yes.
It's interesting that you say that, when it came to the deal, you felt as though they were giving you everything, but you didn't feel as though they were seeing the value in what you were bringing to the table. Yep. Because I recently resigned from my position at my university. And one of the reasons why I did it was because I felt like I was being tolerated and not appreciated.
Okay.
In the world of academia, they place a lot of emphasis on who writes academic journals, who does research, and all those things are great. But I'm a millennial. Yeah. And the way we do research or the way we disseminate information is different. So somebody could write a book about a novel idea, but I'm going to Instagram and I'm posting to my X amount of followers about it. And I'm telling them that there's value in the work I do. And they're like, actually, there's not value. And we have the name, and you should be happy to be here.
That's exactly it. You should be happy just because we are this big multi-billionaire company and you are going to be with us.
Yes, you should be honored. And I think that, so I feel that, and I also feel that a lot of times that type of behavior or approach is given to women more than men. And I think that as women, sometimes we have the fear of negotiating.
Yeah.
And we feel like if we negotiate or if we speak up,
They gonna be like,
No, we don't want it. And I thought I was crazy, but recently I saw that movie. What's that Tyler Perry movie?
the boys playing a black.
Child.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you watched it. Okay. That's, yeah.
Shout out to Tyler.
Shout out.
We love you for providing black jobs. Now, with that being said, one thing I saw in the interview was how Megan Good said for the first time somebody paid her what she was.
Yeah.
And a whole Megan Good who has a history, who is an
Azzy, our catalog. You only
baby. I remember her from Boys in the Hood running up to the ice cream truck. But she said she was scared that to give Tyler her number because she thought he would say no. And so I say that to say, as women, I think that there is a level of fear that comes with us saying, thank you for, allowing me to be here, but understand that I deserve to be here.
Yeah.
And since I deserve to be here, you've got to pay me when I'm worth.
Absolutely.
And so shout out to you.
Thank you.
Even though some of us were talking about you on social media, like, I know, messed up.
I know. I was there. I was talking about me too. I was like, damn, why would I do that the next day? Then I woke up the next day. I seen it was on Shade Room. I was like, dang, I didn't expect for it to go everywhere. Then they ain't hit me back, and nobody hit me. And I was like, you know what? Whatever. So I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing else. But I still was praying on it the whole time. I still was like, and then I did my research, Wendy. I was like, yo, because I kept asking them for their analytics, like the insights and stuff. Like, yo, what do I bring when I'm here? Show me what the ratings are when I'm here. Then they were on BET when I was up there guest hosting and all. I'm bringing all them views, and so they wouldn't give it to me. So I did it myself. My shout out to my manager in London. She know how to check stuff like that. And I bought, me and another host bought so much. So many views and so much attention to the show. I'm like, oh no. So I didn't see a number two for that. And I was like, oh no, this is mine. This is mine. So
let me ask you, when you were auditioning, or rather when you knew you were close and you were about to get the position, were you pregnant at the time?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were pregnant. So you were pregnant at the time, and you were getting this new job, and before you signed, did they know you were pregnant?
No.
Ooh.
Nope. They didn't know I was pregnant. Listen, I had did my rollout. They had the commercial that they drive, the trailer that they drive with me walking up.
Yes.
I was pregnant then. They didn't know.
And you know what? Honestly, it's none of their business.
No, it sure wasn't.
It wasn't.
It's only their business when he sent me on maternity.
Exactly.
That's it.
Okay, so you got in there, and then it was time for you eventually to tell them that you were expecting.
Yeah, definitely.
Were you nervous?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't nervous. No. We've come such a long way with what women can do now, and I'm like, I used to be worried about stuff like that, like, when is the right time to have a family? Because I know I want kids. I don't want just 2 or 3 kids. I want like 4 kids. I know it's different now. With us, we're owning our own businesses. We are like surpassing where we ever even thought we could be as women, in business. So I'm like, no, I'm not nervous. I went in my boss's office. I sat down and I was like, so I'm pregnant. And she's a woman. She was excited. She's like, wow, the first Breakfast Club baby. Yep. And then she's like, all right, we got to sit down with HR. We got to tell them. And I said, yeah. Yep. We sat down. We told them. And the white men was like, oh my God, like, this is great.
Totally.
Yup.
Oh my God.
We're going to run it past sales. We're going to get you reading for people. We're going to do a, whole maternity thing. We're going to do your baby shower and all. I was like, okay, yes, that's what's up.
That is interesting, because when I got my job at the university, when I was interviewing, I just had a baby. And I remember I was nursing my son. And how it works when you interview for academic positions, you're there for the whole day. You have to present a lecture, meet with the faculty, students, all that stuff. I had to pump. And I remember telling my mother and my husband, we had a roundtable discussion. I said, I really want this job. Do I ask them to put in there a break for me to pump? And my mom said, absolutely not.
No, she said no.
Yes, old school.
Oh,
She said,
yeah.
absolutely not.
Gotcha.
She said, they will use that to discriminate against you, whether you know it or not, and I give you the job. I went on my interview. I wore 2 bras, had like 5 breast pads because
so
I
you
was going to
wouldn't leak
leak.
through.
And
Ooh.
I spent the whole day interviewing. As soon as I left the interview, I sat in my car at the university parking lot and pumped for an hour straight. I had to change the bottles because that's how I was engorged. And the reason I say that is because people don't know as women the sacrifices that we make, whether we want to or not, because we're fearful that our choice of family will preclude us from the career we want. Yeah. Now, do I know if I would have not gotten the job if I was pregnant? I don't know, but I got that damn job.
Right.
And they figured it out later, and I didn't tell them. But I just find that so interesting that the way we as moms who are a little bit younger are now navigating this space. And especially for someone like you, who I feel like is at like the best morning show, the most, hair of the morning show. Do you feel like you've ever had to compromise your career or your family and say, I want this, but I know it will slow me down, whether that's at the Breakfast Club or whether that's going on tour, right? Because you tour.
Yes.
Like, do you think that your family has had to take a backseat or your career has had to take a backseat?
So I feel both ways. Like I said, when I was younger, I had my son. He is 12, so I had him when I was 20. I got pregnant at 19, and I missed a lot of things, like with him growing up, and I missed football games. I missed, all types of things. And my mom, and along with my dad, raised him for me, and along with his dad as well. But even his dad had work and other children as well. So my parents were my foundation for my son when I started traveling and all of that stuff. And but that's why I want to do it different this time. I wasn't nervous this time. We planned this little baby. Me and my man Chris, we planned her. So I don't, because I feel like I don't have to choose. I can do both. I can do it all. I can have the man with the kids, and then I can have, the big home, and I can have the career popping, all of that. I can still do all of that. It's different now. I do feel that it is very different.
I agree. It's funny because I do these speaking engagements and they often ask the question, can women have it all? And first of all, I think that question is offensive because I've never sat down in any conference and heard them ask a man, can men have it all? They always ask women, can women have it all? And my answer from my vantage point is I think women can have it all, but I don't think we can have it all at the same time.
At the same time.
And where I struggle with that is you could have the husband, the kids, the career, the house, the cars, the bank account, the body. You could have all of that. But there's going to be a time where one of those things is lacking. So there's days that I'm an amazing worker and I'm knocking out the Dr. Wendy Show and I'm doing things to advance my career. But as I speak right now, my oldest son is at home because he's sick. And my mom has to watch him because I'm doing this. Instead of me being home making chicken noodle soup and being that mom that's like, are you okay? I'm here with you. And there's days where I'm killing it. I'm doing the PTA. I'm doing all that stuff. And when I go check my email at night, I have 200 emails. So it's like I have to pick and choose. I have it all, but I'm not great at it at the same time. Yeah. Do you find yourself, or what tricks do you use to make sure you ensure balance in your life? Being a mom, being a career woman.
Mm-hmm. Well, just knowing that it's impossible to be full-time, perfect, everything at the same time. Just knowing that, because even if we take, for instance, back in the day, like my mom, she was a housewife, but she also was a working wife too. And there were times that she couldn't be home with us while we were sick, but my dad, he was there, and then he would have to go, they tag team. They did that. They did that very well. And then there were times where me and my brother had to go to my grandmother's house because both of them were working at the same time. that's the whole point of like a village, you know what I'm saying? And having that, that's why I'm thankful for my parents each and every day, because that's how my son is still so structured after not having all the time with mommy that I felt like I'm not going to say he would have turned out differently, but I would feel differently.
Same.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
how
It's
I
like
feel.
a guilty
It's
thing.
the guilt. It's mom guilt.
Yes.
Okay, so you have that too?
Oh, girl, yes.
Okay, good.
I do have mom guilt.
I have mom guilt. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
you know, I try to rationalize it, and I say to my kids, or I say to myself, not really the kids, like, oh, I'm doing this for them.
Yeah.
But still.
You're still doing it for what you feel. You're doing it because you feel like you missed out a lot. And getting Breakfast Club, that was also that was a blessing in itself as well, because I'm moving my son. I moved him to Jersey with me so he can be in school up there. Because I do 3-4 hours of radio Monday through Friday. And that's why I also live now in Jersey. So my son is going to be with me. Marley is going to be with me. And I'm going to come home, make them breakfast, make sure he's good in school, you know, because he's doing homeschool. But I want to be able to do that. You know what I mean? And then on the weekends I travel. That's why I'll have my nanny. Sometimes my kids will come with me. Sometimes they won't. And then my nanny is still in my family. That's my boyfriend's mom, you know.
Your boyfriend's mom is there. Ooh.
She's nanny. Yeah, she came all the way back from Kuwait to be with her first grandchild. She was like, oh, what? I mean, because this is their first baby.
Oh, really?
This ain't my first, it's their first. So I'm having to give them right over there. Yeah, there you go. This first, there you go.
Oh, see, I don't have a nanny.
Okay.
I don't have a nanny.
I wouldn't have one either if it wasn't
I feel like
but it's his mom.
That's a game changer.
Yeah.
My mom did that for my firstborn son. My son is the first son, first nephew, first cousin, first grandbaby, both sides.
Dang.
Everything. He's the first. He's like the king.
Yes.
My mom quit her job and she was the director of nursing. Mm-hmm. Like, she quit her job just to take care of my son, to be his nanny. And till today, she throws in my face.
Yeah.
And she makes me give her money every month.
That's right, because my mother would never. So I love that your mom actually did that. You know, that's wholesome. That's great. My mom would never. But she does, she has had like a dominant hand in raising my son,
beautiful.
You know, with me and with his dad and stuff. So
do you have any regrets?
No. I just a regret. This is the only regret that I have in my career, not with like family or anything. I don't regret anything, except for this one joke I had told about Chadwick Boseman before he passed, before we had all figured out that he had cancer. He had made a video. This was around COVID. He made a video and he was telling people to stay in the house, you know, because this COVID thing is spreading. It's dangerous. You know, people are dying and stuff. And I thought he was losing weight for a role in a movie because, you know, he was a method actor, you know, and phenomenal actor. And I had said something about how he, like his appearance, how he had looked like losing weight. And then that man passed away maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. And it wasn't even the hate that I got from the internet. It was just the type of person that I was, that because as messy as, you know, I've been and all of that, I'm still a very, very good person. And I would never, ever joke about somebody with an illness or a disease or something that they can't control. It made me so sick to my stomach. And I just was like, oh my God. You know, and you can't even look up dirt on this man. You can't even, nobody had anything bad to say. Yeah. And here go Jess Hilarious, my big ass mouth, and then and I wasn't the only person that said something, but I wasn't worried about none of that. It was the person that I was.
It impacted you as a person. Yeah. Did that moment change you as a person and the way in which you look at the power of your platform?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it was a key. Before, you know, everybody that Just with the Mess went viral as well. And he could have seen it. You know what I'm saying? That's what hurt me. Like, I'm like, damn, he could have seen that. And while I'm over here making people laugh and saying whatever the hell I want and what's on my mind, you never know what somebody's going through. You don't know, you know, and I didn't know that. So I regretted doing that. I stopped doing Just with the Mess for like 5 months. I was like, yo, I don't even want to do it no more. You know, I just didn't. That's the only regret that I have in my career, in my journey with being Jess.
But it's interesting because I think that also speaks to your character. Yeah. The fact that you have this long history of a career, and the only regret you have is the one that not necessarily impacted you, but impacted someone else.
Yes.
I think that speaks to who you are as a person.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So with the Breakfast Club, you guys talk about all these topics, from movies to clothes. Y'all talk about people.
Yeah.
Y'all talk about it all.
People backs and everything.
Y'all talk about people's backs. Y'all shouldn't have. Okay, but with that being said, do you feel that you have a responsibility to your community about providing information? Meaning, a lot of times, especially now as a society, we find information on Instagram, barbershop talk. Like, that's where we got information. People are not necessarily reading books. They want things quick, easy, fast, sound bites. Do you think you have a responsibility to your audience to make sure that the information you're providing is accurate?
Absolutely. I do.
You do?
I really do think that, Wendy, because it'll result.
So why should you be saying so much stuff that ain't true?
I don't know. And then he know he be lying. Because sometimes he be like, y'all always believe in me.
Why would he say stuff?
Yeah. Like, they only been listening to you for 14 years, dummy. Like, girl, I know. And that's one thing that I always, like, struggle with, even with myself. Because I'm like, Just with the Mess has to bring something different to Breakfast Club. I can't be the same Jess with the Mess that I am online because that's microwavable. It's it's Instagram, so it's instant. Yeah. Like, you know, it's very quick. They want sound bites. People react off of just reading a headline. Yeah. They'll just go ahead and then they'll form the rest of what they believe off of that without even listening to the whole video. Like, so I cater to that on Instagram and, you know, Facebook and things like that. That's with TikTok. That's where they love it at. But that's what I'm still working on with Breakfast Club, because we have a lot of mature listeners. These are people that still riding to work in their car, listening, working out, moms that, you know, like we have all types of listeners, you know.
So we are in an election year. It's election 2024. And I want to get your thoughts on the current state of our country in the sense of, it was announced that we have Kamala Harris as the presumptive, by the time this airs, by Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee for the Democratic Party. What are your thoughts on the possibility of potentially having a Black woman as president of the United States?
I actually think it's amazing. I didn't even, I'm going to be honest, I didn't even think it could happen before Obama got in, like to have, you know, a Black man. And then now we're this close to a Black woman. Yeah. Like, I think she because, okay, as a woman, first of all, she can speak for women too, first and foremost, like our reproductive rights and things that the other candidate are, you know, like against and trying to rip away from us and stuff like that. I'm excited for it. You know what I don't like? I don't like how I see a lot of people like, oh, well, she's not ready. She's not ready. What you do in instances like that is you get ready. Correct. Donald Trump wasn't ready to be the president either. He's still not ready. You know, like he wasn't, and he didn't really know a lot about politics. He's just quick with his mouth. And that's what, honestly, now that I'm getting more, you know, delving more into politics, I see it's talk. It's a lot of talk, a lot of people talking. And, you know, they selling you something, you know, and it is what it is. They sell you on the fact that they can run your country. Nobody is going to be perfect. Correct. No candidate is going to be perfect at all. But I don't like how, you know, they will say, because she used to be a prosecutor, you know, she was a prosecutor. How do you feel about someone who used to lock a whole bunch of black men up to be the president? Well, how do you feel about a damn felon running the country? Correct. What are we talking about? Right. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when honestly, the election was asked before Joe Biden did what he needed to do and stepped down.
Yeah.
And now just to see the VP now get to this point and actually become the nominee, I think it's amazing. Me personally, I love it. I want to see her more. I do want to see more of her policies. I want to delve more into what she can do. We want to, because now, hot Kamali, you gotta talk to us. You gotta talk to us. You gotta talk to these people, and she gotta be on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So I do have a question for you. Is anything off limits?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
Girl, what you got?
Okay. You are in a new relationship.
I am.
Okay. You are very happy.
Yes.
You were she's like, You're very happy.
Yes.
You're glowing.
I am. Thank you.
Before that, you had a podcast with your ex.
Yes.
Jerome. What's his name? Jerome. Do y'all still have the podcast?
No. So it was a show on you. We had a YouTube series. It's called Co-Parenting Therapy.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people call it a podcast. Okay. Maybe we should have made it one, but no, we didn't. It was just a YouTube series about how we raised our son, and how we became so close, not intimate, but very, very close. Like we're like brother and sister now. And that's like, how we steps to how we got there is what the show is based around. No, we do not have the show anymore, but we're going to be rebooting it because I'm writing a book on co-parenting therapy with Jerome.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
that was my question. My question was, because we no longer saw the show, was the co-parenting relationship strained?
No.
Okay,
No. Rome is my family. He's still very much around all the time. Like he asked me and my boyfriend, can he be the godfather of this baby? I'm like, yo, no, that's weird. No, you cannot. It's so damn weird. But yeah, he's very, very close with us. Yeah.
So how has it been for you right now? You are in your soft girl era. You're ironically having a girl. How does that feel, especially in this industry? Because I feel like a lot of times when you reach a certain level, there's people who want to be around you because of who you are. Yeah. But it's a beautiful thing when you find somebody who wants to be around you because of them loving you. Yeah. So how does that feel to find that part?
I think it feels amazing. It honestly felt like it would never come at some points because I've had failed relationship after failed relationship. My son even told me like, Ma, I don't think you're going to find a man. Like, I'm serious. He was 9 years old when he said this to me. And I was like, damn, but I just realized that in itself is just you dating and finding out more about yourself, what you will tolerate, what you won't tolerate, what's inappropriate to you and what, and then I learned to love myself with everybody all my past relationships, the way I was loving them more than I was loving myself. And I had to realize that like, damn, I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot. And I'm doing a lot for you mentally, and I'm not getting none of that back. And then it feels good to have met Chris, and he loves Jessica Robin more.
I know
he's in love with Jessica Robin more.
Come on, middle name.
Yeah, yes. He's in love with that girl, that woman, and he's like my best friend. He really is my best friend, and he I never. And it's something as simple as this, like. I've never had anybody that called me and be like, in a relationship, you get the how you doing and how was your days, but how are you mentally? What was, what did you think about today anything you want to talk about today before we go to bed that you don't, because you don't want to sleep on it. Like, what's wrong? Is everything okay? Like he be in my mind and stuff. And I be like, okay, I love that. And he just, I don't know, he's amazing.
Do you want to get married?
I do. And he does too.
Have you always wanted to get married, or is it because of the love you found with him that you want to get married?
So I didn't always want to get married, but it's more so because of like, I felt like I found my person. I felt like I found my partner, and I feel like I can. The craziest thing, Wendy, is like when you feel like you can come and take a wig off and
come on, baby,
just
Tell the
let everything be out, and a man still loves you with that.
Tell the people when you take off that bust down middle part.
It's like what? And when you take off the bra and grab the brush and start scratching under your, because there ain't nothing like a titty scrub with the brush, you know, after that. And the man just still be right there loving you. All of that, that's different. That's my partner. That's my dog. So, yes.
What would you tell your 10-year-old self?
Do it all over again. Do it just like you did it. Do it all over again. Like it's gonna be crazy. You're gonna be a star, you know, but do it just like I'm telling you to do it. Do it the same way you did it.
I know that's right.
Yeah, because I love where I am now, and I love even more where I'm going. You know, so.
I like that. Okay, so we have a game on the Dr. Wendy Show.
Yes.
It's called 10 with Wen, where I ask you 10 random questions and you answer, and it has to be fast. Like, don't think this ain't a dissertation. Don't take your time.
Okay.
Off the dome.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac.
Me too. If you were on death row, what would be your final meal?
Oh my God, a McDouble with mac sauce and turkey wings with mac and cheese.
If you had to start an argument with just one sentence, what would it be? Like, what is your controversial opinion that will get everybody like, what?
It's two genders.
Damn, mine was drumsticks and bed and floor.
Oh my gosh, what?
You see it?
All right, well, damn. You said, when you said country, I'm like, it's only two of us. It's two genders.
Okay. Who is the best musician turned actor or actor turned musician?
Ooh, Drake. Because I was going to say Ice Cube, but I don't know about
that's a
music.
good
Yeah, Drake. He's a really good actor. Mhm.
Okay. My would be Jamie Foxx.
Damn, yes.
If you could have dinner with 5 celebrities, dead or alive, who would they be?
Oh my gosh, Whitney Houston, Chris Brown, Robert De Niro, Rihanna, because she gonna bring the weed, and Sandra Bullock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a little mixing pot, but
A little mix and pot.
you know, yeah.
Okay. If you were a housewife, what would your housewife tagline be?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm still just for the mess in the news is real.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. And if you could provide a name for this episode, what would the name of this episode be?
Pregnant and still messy, child.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a wrap. Jess with the mess.
Thank
you
Andy.
for coming. Thank you.
Thank you.
We wish you nothing but the best, and we want you to come back next time.
Can I have a candle?
Oh, yes!
Yes, I'm like smelling.
Yes!
I'm like,
You gonna have a
Can I have a candle, please?
Candle.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you, baby.
Thank you, baby.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank y'all.